There we go. So first of all, good evening, Valencia, Sharon, Brandy,
Good
Sean,
evening.
welcome. We're going to go
Good
ahead and
evening.
start at 6 o'clock. So first of all, as I start every class or every session on Monday, does anybody have any questions or a problem they got stuck on during the week?
Functions.
Say it again.
Functions. I took the practice test day again, and I got like a 143, which is way better than before. And it was mainly like the functions I was stuck on.
Okay, so functions for the GED, basically, let me make sure I can find it. Where's my study guide at? Hold on, let me find it. I thought I opened it up. Maybe I didn't have, there we go. It's only two things you're going to have to do for functions. Okay. You either got to evaluate a function, right? Or whether it's a valid function or not. It's only two things they're going to ask you on the GED. So if they ask you to evaluate a function, all you're doing is plugging that value into the expression. So for example, here go two examples. This one example, this is one way they could give it to you. This is f of -8. So what this is saying is x is -8. So all you're doing, everywhere you see x, you put in the -8. Now, my advice to you is, if it's negative, put it in parentheses. So -8 squared minus 3 times -8. So we know -8 times -8 is a positive 64 plus 24 equal 88. Another way they could give it to you, say when x is -3, but it's the same exact thing. Everywhere you see x, you're going to put a -3. Make sure you put it in parentheses. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally means exponents first. So -3 times -3 is 9. Multiplication next, 3 times 9 is 27. 27 plus 4 is 31. Now, what I would suggest you do, again, is, because I'm guaranteeing you're going to see this problem. What I'm saying to you is use your calculator. Because then you don't have to worry about negative signs and putting it in parentheses. All you have to do is plug it in. So if you have your calculator, so we said the first one was 88. We said the second was 31. So again, we took about a minute and a half to do each of those. So what I'm going to show you now, that's a little bit too big. What I'm going to show you now is how you would do that on your calculator. I want it bigger than that. Let me see if I can get it bigger. I guess we're going to have to put it there. Let me clear everything out. So that first one, x was -8. So -8, store x squared minus 3x. I'm done. 88. -3, store x. And the second one was 3x squared plus 4. Again, if you take the time to learn how to do it on your calculator, these problems are simple. They're fast. They're easy. You don't have to waste a whole lot of time doing it by hand. Now, the second problem that they could ask you for functions is to evaluate a function. Very easy. For whether they give you a table, whether they give you points, whether they give you a graph, you have to understand these are all different ways to say the same thing. So if we look at this first table here, if I put it as points, it will be 0, -4, 0, 4, 2, -3, 2, 3. If I graph this as a table, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 0, -4. Oops, I got to go 0, -4. So you got a spot, you got one here. You got one here. 2, -3, you got one right here. And 2, 3, you got one right here. So what you want to remember is to see if a function is valid, the thing you need to remember, and this is very important, when you see the word function, you only have to do one or two things. You either evaluating it or if it's a valid function or not, if the expression is a function or not. What you want to think of, for every x, there is only one y. Basically, your x's can't repeat. So here, my x's repeat. This is not a function. If it was written as a points, The x's are the same, but the y's are different, not a function. Again, same x, different y's, not a function. Same x's, different y's, not a function. Where people make the mistake is here, because they see two y's are the same. But you got to remember the text I just told you. For every x, there's only one y. Here, for every x, there's only one y. Your y's can repeat. This is the table that represents a function. You're going to get those with every exam.
Okay.
Okay, so make sure you go over the video, because I guarantee you, you're gonna have those two on your exam. Guarantee it's on every single exam.
That was the one that got me stuck for the practice test.
So now you should be like, ooh, I know how to do it now. All right, what's next? What's the next question? Anybody else?
Yeah, I was doing finding the slope in the word problem to look for the slope. Yeah, I was doing that.
What was the question? Was it on Schoology or?
No.
Okay, what was the question?
Did I write one down? Maybe I'm gonna give you something else. I'm gonna give you something else. I'm gonna give you something else because I didn't write that question down.
Okay.
I did write down find a missing mean.
Okay.
Okay.
You mean find a missing value?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Find a missing value. Okay. It's a word problem.
Okay.
Oh, yes, it. Okay. It says, you want me to read it out the whole thing?
Yes.
Janet has taken 4 quizzes.
Hold on.
Okay.
Okay,
what else?
She scored the following on her 4 quizzes.
Okay.
63%, 70%, 80%, 87%. And it says, what is the minimum score Janet needs on her 5th quiz to have an average score of 80%?
Okay. So this is listen, this is one of the most missed questions on the GED exam, because in class, they always teach you how to do the average. You know how to do the average. You add them up, you divide by how many there are. So listen to what I just said. To find the average, hold on, let me get my pencil together. To find the average or the mean, you add them, add the values, and divide, correct? So if I'm given the mean already, so here, this is how you find the mean. This is how we're going to get it. But we already had the mean, so we got to go backwards. So we have to multiply. So if we given the mean, we got to multiply, because the opposite of dividing is multiplication. The opposite of adding is what?
Subtracting.
Right? So let's do that. So if we have the average of 80, we know how many quizzes she's going to take. So that's 80 times 5.
Yep.
Which is what?
80 times 5 will give you 400.
400. So now we have to subtract the values that we already have. So we got to add. Let me change my color a little bit, because that red upon red is going to look a little weird. Now we have to add these values up. So we got 87 and 63, and we got 70 and 80. So this is 150, and this is 150.
It's 300. Yeah.
That's 300. So we're going to subtract that 400 minus 300. So in order to get a B in this class, she would have to get 100.
Yeah, I've been doing that a lot of that.
So that would be your answer. So she would, but this is the normal calculations. Like when you're in college, that's what you're doing. You adding up all your scores so you can listen, what do I need to get a B?
Right.
This is the same thing. I know what I have already. So again, let's understand what we did. So to find the mean, we would add the values and then divide. If we're given the mean, we multiply, then subtract. Now, watch this. I'm gonna give you another way to do it, right? Watch this. And this is the common sense way. This is the way most people can remember. Because when they give you this problem, they're probably going to give you multiple choice, right? So watch this. And I'm going to show you. This is the easiest way. So say I got these multiple choice answers and I got 90, 92, 95, and 100. Now we already know the answers. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah.
We know the answer is 100, right? Watch this. I'm going to show you something. And this is where understanding, let me clear everything out and let me put this over here. Watch this.
I want to make this bigger.
Move this over here. Watch this. So what I'm going to do is, again, if you know how to use this calculator, you would go to data. You're going to clear it out and you're going to put all your scores in. 63, 70, 80, 87. The multiple choice are the possible fifth score. Does everybody understand that? So I'm going to put my first answer in, 90. Now I need to have an average of 80. So I'm just going to go second, data, one variable, calculate. And I'm looking for the average. Again, if you went through the lesson in the ebook, this tells you your average is 78. That's not an 80. So I know it's not A.
Right.
So I simply, and this is very important that you understand, and this is why you practice, because you want to be ready. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to data and I'm going to change that last value from 90 to 92. Same thing, second data, one variable, calculate. Let's see if I get an average of 80. I still don't get an average of 80. So you know what? 90, 92, 95 may not be the answer. So you know what? Because when I went from 90 to 92, I only went up 0.4. So it's probably not 95. Let me try 100. So I'm going to go to data, go back to my last answer, which was 92. I'm going to change that to 100. Second, data, one variable, calculate. And we look at the average is 80. So there's several ways you can do it. To me, you could have just used the multiple choice and find the average. So again, most people, this is what happens. Most people know how to find the average, right? So what I'm suggesting is this. This is what I'm suggesting. You take this number with the 4 that you already have, find the average. Then that's not the answer. Take 92. That wasn't the average. Take 95, find the average. That's not the answer. It may take you a little longer, but then at least you're not confused of how to do the problem, because then you're doing it the same way you've been finding the average all this time, adding up all the values, dividing by how many there are. Got me?
Yes.
That's one of the most missed questions on the GED too. So you got to be prepared for that. Got to be prepared for that.
That's why I was studying it.
Yes, yes, definitely. And if you notice, let me show you something real quick. If you go to schools, I think, do I got it under math lessons? Mean, median, there we go. Let's go to textbook lessons. No, let's go to practice. It's under practice under Khan Academy. And if you notice, I put practice for each one. Calculating the mean, calculating the median, mean, median, and mode. But guess what the last section is right there? Missing value given the mean. So they give it to you in word problems. They give it to you with charts. They give it to you in graphs. So again, the practice. If I wanted to practice here, I would say I would click on here. Continue. And it would take me to more practice. This is why I put CK12 and Khan Academy on in Schoology. So you can practice all you want. So now look at this. The following table, it gives you to you in the table now. The following table shows last year's revenue for each of Herman's Hoagie's locations. Revenue in thousands. Remember I told you, always look at the column headings. The location, revenue in thousands. So 121,000, 189,000, 147,000. If the mean of the data is 158, find revenue for the granting location. So again, I'm gonna grab my calculator. Hold on, let me clear everything out first. And this is why you practice. So when you see it, you know it's, I don't have a whole lot of room. Let me move over here. Okay, let me move right here. So first of all, I know it's 4 locations. So 158, I'm given the mean. So 158 times 4, 632. Now, I can add them up, or I can just subtract them all. Minus 121, minus 189, minus 147. Enter. 175. Let's see if that's the correct answer. Hold on. 175. Let me take a screenshot first of here. And let me move this out the way. Let's see if 175 is the correct answer. 175. And let's check it. There you go. So again, whatever issues you're having problems with, you can always use Schoology and go to those lessons. And they got Khan Academy practice, CK12 practice, and then I make my own practice assessments up. But there's so much. Anything you need to work on, you can find it in here. Bet you didn't know that. Like that, I didn't even know that was there, Mr. Tinsley. Stop playing. Who's next? Who's next? So again, both of those questions that Valencia just asked and Sharon just asked are 2 of the most commonly missed questions on the GED. So what that means is that's probably 3 to 4 questions right there.
Wow.
Okay. It was some more questions. Sean, Sean, you on there twice?
Yeah.
Okay. So what, you have a question for me?
No.
How about you, Brandy?
I knew he was about to say that.
Because if not, I got a whole bunch of stuff we can go over.
Uh-oh.
Can we get just like one more, Mr. Tinsley, like another example of using the Y2 minus Y1?
Guess what? I have it ready right here. Look at that. It was waiting for you. It was waiting for you. Don't you worry. I got it waiting for you because I knew somebody was going to ask that question. I could feel it in my bones. So I called the PDF. I had it ready because I knew somebody was going to ask that question. I'm sorry. So hold on. Let me pause for a second. Right. All right, let's go. So remember,
is being recorded.
So remember, always identify what's given. So the first thing you realize is that they want to find the equation or the slope from 2 points, right? Again, so listen, let me find one that works out nice and lovely because I want no crazy thing. Let's do number 9. Number 9. I'm gonna make it nice and big. And then what I'm gonna show you is, again, you're wasting all this time on finding the slope in the equation from 2 points. In the book, I'll show you how to do it in 5 seconds. But I'm gonna show you how to do it by hand so you make sure, because you want it computational, right? So again, this is my first point. This is my second point. Right? Every point must have an X and a Y. So since this is my first point, I'm gonna call this X1, Y1. Since this is my second point, I'm gonna call this X2 and Y2. I'm gonna go to my formula sheet and I'm gonna see that the formula says Y2 minus Y1 over X2 minus X1. You are not trying to remember it. Write it down every single time until you get it. So you label your points, X1 and Y1. You label your second point, X2 and Y2. You write your formula down to find the slope from 2 points every single time until you got it down. Now we're just plugging in. W2 is minus 1.
Yes.
Then I got so this is the mistake that people make. This is a minus sign from the formula. So I'm gonna put that minus sign right there. And then I'm gonna put my Y1, which is 4. Then I'm gonna come down to the bottom. X2 is what?
X2 is 5.
5. And then I'm going to put my minus sign from the formula. Now, what's my x1?
-5.
-5. So again, what did I tell you? When it's negative, put it in parentheses. So now, what is -1 minus 4?
It's -5.
-5.
It's -5.
Remember, when you're combining sign numbers, if they have the same sign, you add them and keep the sign. So 1 plus 4 is 5, -5. Now, a negative next to a negative changes to what?
A positive.
A positive. What's 5 plus 5?
10.
10. So I got to reduce to lowest terms. 5 going to 5 one time. 5 going to 10 two times. I got to keep my negative. So my slope of this line that passes through those 2 points is -1/2. Now, look how now. So now you could have did it that way. I'm gonna show you the second way. Hold on. So that's one way you could have done it, right? The second way you could have done it is you could have grabbed your calculator again, because your calculator is going to be your best friend. So the reason why I keep telling you that is because you got to believe it. If you don't believe the calculator is going to help you, you're not going to trust me to go through that ebook. Because now watch this. ND, Y2 minus 1 minus 4. X2, 5 minus a -5. Now, the other way took us 1.5 minutes. How long did that take us?
1 second.
Not even 2
2
seconds.
seconds.
And I'm still not done. Because that's way. Now I'm gonna show you even an easier way to find the slope. You hit data. You put your X's in the first column. -5, enter, 5, enter. Hit your right arrow, put your Y's in the second column. 4, enter, -1, enter. Remember, I told you, if it starts with a negative, you're going to push the minus sign next to enter. Then all you do, if you read through the ebook, all you do is go second, data, 2 variable, calculate. Again, 15 to 20 seconds, you're going down to lowercase a and lowercase b. If you notice, it says -0.5. So if you didn't know what -0.5 is, if you didn't take my advice and know all the common fractions and their decimal equivalents, if you didn't know, this is all you gotta do. Let me show you again. You hit clear to get out, -0.5, turn into a fraction. Stop playing.
Yep, that's what you do.
Wow.
Yep.
Cannot waste all this time going over how to find a slope from 2 points. Use my ebook so you can get the nice, quick, fast way and get up out of there. You can't be wasting 2 and 3 days on that. Don't. Now, the other part of that. If you have a goal after this, for community college or post-secondary, then you need to know how to do it. Because your placement test for college, you're not going to be able to use that calculator. So you're going to have to know how to do it. So first do it by hand, then do it, use the calculator with ND, then you use the calculator with data. So do it all 3 ways. So each time you have 2 points and they ask you to find the slope, you do it all 3 ways. Now, when you get to the test, you're going to use the calculator, but at least you know you have a conceptual understanding of the concept. Got me?
Yep.
Ooh-wee. You better stop playing. I'm telling you, Kevin Hart cracks me up. You're going to learn today. But again, so listen to tonight. What's a valid function? Evaluating the function. That's at least 3 to 4 problems right there. Finding the slope from 2 points is going to be a question. Finding the slope, finding an equation of a line from 2 points is probably going to be a question. So everything we went over tonight is probably going to be a question on your exam. So what I had prepared for you tonight, because as I saw people taking exams, I saw some common proportion problems or unit rate problems that people were having issues with. So I want to go over some examples, okay? Scale is going to be in your exam. Unit rate is going to be on your exam. Proportions are going to be in your exam. They may be all different. They may be the same, but you have to know how to do them all. So let's look at problems 1 and 2. It says for 1 and 2, use the following scale: 2 inches, to 35 inches. So when you see that colon, it's the word 2. 2 inches to 35 inches. That's the ratio. So every 2 inches equal 35 miles. The distance between Troy City and Bend City is 315 miles. How far apart are they on the map? Can someone please tell me how to do this problem? Because I have no idea. For some reason, I don't know if it's the 90-degree heat outside. It done melted my brain cells. I don't know why I can't know how to do this problem. How are we going to start this problem?
Well, we started
Identify givens. Identify your givens.
I'm sorry. Identify your givens.
Yes, identify your givens. What's given to us?
Between the cities is 315 miles.
Okay, this is between the two cities, 315 miles. What else is given?
The 2 inches and 35 miles. Each 2 inches equals 35 miles.
Okay, so that is a ratio. That is a
2
comparison.
to 35. Yes.
Okay, so how can we solve this problem? Can somebody tell me?
I would have divided.
Divide what?
30.
I would have divided the 35 over the 2. Yeah, like that.
And you get what?
17.5.
Yeah.
So if you notice, I kept the measurements. I got miles per inch. Miles per inch. So it's 17 miles for every inch. Okay. Okay, you did it that way. Now what's next?
17.5 times 315, or is it divided?
And tell me why you would multiply.
To see how many times, how many miles to get the 3.
So let me ask you a question. This is the problem a lot of people make. So I'm gonna make it simple for you. Do 2 numbers you know. So say the distance between Troy City and Bend City was 8 miles. And say every inch was 2 miles. 2 miles per inch. How many inches or how far apart are they? Would you divide 2 divided by 8? Or would you divide 8 divided by 2?
And that will equal 4.
Equal 4. So you would divide the number of miles divided by the unit rate.
315.
So it's not multiplication, it's division.
Division.
So what happens is sometimes we are unsure when we're given big numbers. So make the number smaller so you can make sense out of it. So 315 divided by 17.5. And let's put that in our calculator. Somebody tell me what we get.
15.
15
inches.
So how do you know what's inches? Because this is miles and this is miles per inch.
Wait. Y'all divided that, right?
315 divided by 17.5. Now, that's one way. That's using, this is called.
I got 18.
18?
Right. They rounded it.
Is it 18?
It's 18. It's not that. Yeah.
Let me see. 175 times 10 is 175. 175 twice is 350. 350 minus 35. Yes, you're right. It's 18. It is 18. So we found the unit rate, then we divide it. Okay. So that's one way you could have solved this problem. Another way you could have solved this problem is setting up a proportion. So the first way we use the unit rate. The second way is setting up a proportion. We already know a ratio already. 2 inches for every 35 miles is equal to, we got to know how this is before 315 miles. We want whatever we have on one side of the equal, we want to have on the other side. Since miles is on the bottom on the left side, we want miles and the bottom on the right side. That is our unknown. So to solve a proportion, you cross multiply. 35x equal 630. X is not by itself. How are we going to get x by itself? What are we going to do?
Divide.
Divide by what?
35.
35. Can somebody put that in the calculator for me? What is 630 divided by 35?
18.
Stop playing. Did we get the same exact answer both ways?
Yes.
Stop playing. So the first way was unit rate. So what I suggest to you when you're trying to solve a proportion, the first way to solve a proportion, the first way is use equivalent fractions. That's the easiest way. If you can see something, in this case, it didn't look like we could use equivalent fractions, right? The second way is unit rate. The third way is cross multiply. Now, what I can say is when you cross multiply, you can, no matter what the proportion is, you can solve it using cross multiplication. Got me?
Got you.
All right, let's try another one. Let's do number 2. Marking city is 5 inches away from jamming city on the map. What is the actual distance between the two cities? So for the first one, they want to know how far apart the two cities are. The second one, they're asking how many miles is between the two cities. So they're asking for two different things, but we still have to use either unit rate or cross multiplication to solve this problem.
Okay.
Okay. So tell me, can someone start me how to do this problem?
Okay. I would put, okay. Well, can I do it first?
Yes, you can do it first. All right, let me pause. Let me pause the recording.
Okay.
God. So all that wasn't even on the tape. I forgot to record.
Yay!
So the thing about
Okay.
taking that time to practice is so you can identify your weaknesses, identify your mistakes. So even if you make a mistake, now you can correct it. Because the one thing about is observing, what do? Oh, yeah, I understand that. Yeah, I understand that. And then when you go do it by yourself, oh, I don't understand that. What just happened? So what I want you to do is just try it. So marking city is 5 inches away from jamming city on the map.
Right.
What is the actual distance between the two cities? So remember, I gave you 3 ways that we can solve a proportion. I said by equivalent fractions, unit rate, or cross multiplication. Sharon and Brandy said they did cross multiplication.
Yeah.
Valencia, how about you? Which way would you try to solve?
Multiplication. Well,
multiplication.
I'm about to do division, honestly, I think.
All right, let's see how we would do it. I'm gonna show so you can show me how you would do it, and then I'm gonna show you how I would do it. So let's try Brandy, because Sharon did help us with the last one. Brandy, how would you solve this problem?
Right on the spot.
That's right. It's nothing better than getting put on the spot.
All right, I'm just going to put up a jump out here.
But this is what you want to remember, though. You see what we're doing right now? We're laughing. We're having so there's no pressure on us to say, okay, if I make a mistake, what's going to happen? Nothing.
Nothing, right?
Okay. So marking city is 5 inches away from jamming city on the map was the actual distance between the cities. So, Brandy, how would you start this problem?
Of course, well, like you said, identify was given, so we know it's 5 inches away from jamming city.
Okay.
Are we? So, if I can ask, we're still using we're going in miles, so we're going to go with the 35. Yeah. So the 35 will go over X. No, see.
So again, identify the ratio that you know. That goes first. And I don't care how you write it. You could say 2 inches is the 35 miles. You could also say 35 miles for every 2 inches. It doesn't matter what order you put it, as long as you're consistent on the other side of the equal sign. So they give you 5 inches. Where's that 5 going to go in the first proportion that I set up?
Going on the other side.
Where? On this first.
Oh, with a 2 at, cross over with a 2 at. I mean,
so on the top or the bottom?
Top.
So remember, again, we identify the ratio that we know. Set that up any particular order you want. It does not matter. As long as on the other side of the equal, everything matches up, right? So 5 inches is going to go on the top here, and this is our unknown here. On the second equation, our 5 inches are going to go on the bottom because inches to inches. Understand that? Now, it doesn't matter which way you do it. So cross multiplication. So for this one, we got 2x is equal to, what's 35 times 5? So that's 70, 140, 175. In order to solve for x, what do we need to do? Divide by what?
2.
2. And we get x equal, what is 175 divided by 2?
87.5.
87.5 miles. Now, let's do the second equation. Again, we're going to cross multiply. 2x is equal to, what's 35 times 5? So 30 times 5 is 150. 5 times 5 is 25. We add both of those together. We get 175. Divide both sides by 2. And did we get the same exact answer? So you should hear me in your head. No matter what problem you're given, identify your givens. Identify what they want to know. That'll give you the roadmap of what you need to do. Okay? So again, let's try number 4. Because that looks hard. Number 4 just looks hard. So I said, you know what? Let me give number 4 because I want that brain to be really like. Anybody ever see I'm going to get you, sucker?
Oh Lord!
Remember when his toe was like boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
Boom, boom.
Yeah.
That's what your brain is doing right now. It's like, no. So let's look at number 4. A model of a car has a scale of 3 centimeters to 2 meters. The length of the actual hood of the car is 1 meter. What is the length of the hood of the model? Look at that. Because what happens is people want numbers to work out like nice and, comfortably. So I chose one that said, man, maybe it's not so comfortable. Let's see. Let's see if we can do it. And you can send me your answer in the chat. So I'm not going to pause the recording because last time I forgot to put it back on.
Of a car has a scale of 3 to 2.
Oh, wait, we're doing this by yourself?
Yes, by yourself. Number 4. And you can send me your answer in the chat. And then we're going to go over.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Are you driving while you don't be watching me while you driving?
I'm trying to understand.
Are you driving or are you on the passenger seat, Miss Davis?
Hey, you got to get it somehow. You got to get it somehow.
So a model car has a scale of 3 centimeters to 2 meters. The length of the actual hood of the car is 1 meter. What is the length of the hood of the model? And this is what you have to do. You have to put yourself in an environment where you're uncomfortable. So when you get to your exam, you won't feel uncomfortable. That's the whole purpose of Schoology. That's the whole purpose of these classes. So you can be uncomfortable here, but when you get to your exam, it's not even going to bother. You're going to fly right through it, hopefully. Send me your answer in the chat.
I'm stuck. But I'm gonna see if I get this right.
See what happens when you try to do it by yourself? Look at you. You get, oh my goodness, wow, how you do it? So now I want you to, I don't want you getting scared because we can make mistakes in this environment. We can make mistakes here and we can feel all right about making mistakes here. So don't worry about if you make mistakes here. It does not count here. But what I do want you to do is give a full effort to try to do it. Yes. So you're not in your comfort zone and we can knock this out.
All right. I'm gonna see. I don't know if it's correct, but I'm gonna try. I try.
That's all you can do is try.
Yeah, I try. I'm gonna try.
That's all you can do. That's all I can ask is for you to try.
Oh.
Yeah, bang it out about that.
In order to achieve anything you want, you got to have some level of uncomfortability, no matter what it is, whether it's in business, whether it's in school, whether it's in life. It's going to be something that make you uncomfortable. And the measure of who you are is how you respond when you get knocked down, when you're frustrated, when you're anxious. That's how you measure yourself. When you're faced with the toughest times, how do you respond? Now, my timer is almost at 3 minutes. That clock moved fast, don't it?
Now, see, that was my first answer, but okay. I put 2 answers in there.
Let's see. I haven't even done it yet.
Can I put 2 answers? No, go ahead. I'm gonna write this one down. I'm gonna write this question down.
So I don't think that's the answer because I just did it in my head.
Okay.
So that is not the answer, and we're gonna see how you got there in a minute because I can't even see how you would get that answer. I don't. But guess what? Like I said, this is the place to make your mistakes because we can laugh about it here. You get it wrong on the real exam, you frustrated, you get mad at yourself. Here, we can make that mistake.
I'm gonna put my first answer in there. It might be wrong too. So this is what I thought it was. That's what I thought it was.
Now that is right.
That's what I thought it was the first time. Okay.
So you questioned yourself because it did come out to a whole number. You questioned yourself.
No, that wasn't even it. I was just like, okay, am I do it this way or this way? And my first instinct was right.
Brandy, you are close. You are close.
Mm-hmm.
But your decimal place is in the wrong place.
I knew it was right. I knew it was right.
Okay, time is up. So let's go through it. First of all, where do we start? What do we know?
We know that 3 centimeters to 2 centimeters, you could put it into a fraction.
So this is the ratio that we know.
Ratio 3 to 2.
So 3 centimeters to 2 meters. Okay. What is a proportion? Setting 2 ratios equal to each other. So we're going to put our equal sign. What else do we know?
You know that the car is 1 meter.
We know the car is 1 meter. Where's that 1 meter going to go? Is it going to go to the top or the bottom?
It's going on the bottom. It should be going on the bottom. Is it going to match up with the 2 meter, right?
Right, meter to meter. So that 1 meter is going to go on the bottom.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
This is the unknown.
Right.
We cross multiply.
Right.
What's 2 times x?
What?
Equal. What's 3 times 1?
3.
3. In order to get x by itself, what do we need to do?
Divide by 2.
Divide by 2. The 2's cancel. X equal 3/2 or 1.5 centimeters. Because they want to know the length of the hood of the model. 1.5 centimeters.
Oh, you are absolutely right, Mom.
That's what it was. I had it right. I know. I'm like, second day was that's why I said, can I put 2 in? The first one was 1.5. That was my first one.
All right. So this is the type of questions you may be asked on the GED. They love scale problems. Matter of fact, let's do one more before we leave tonight. And this is going to come right from the, this is coming right from the study guide.
Okay.
Let me see if I can find that one.
Yeah, I'm like, I know my pen didn't.
Any day now, if I can find it. Where are you? Wow. I actually love this study guide, believe it or not, because it gives you so many problems that is, oh, there we go, right there. A scale drawing of a house uses a scale of 0.5 inches to 2 feet. What is the length in inches of a line on the scale drawing that represents an actual length of 5 feet? So again, I'm gonna set the timer for 3 minutes. And then after that 3 minutes, we're gonna go over. Now I'm gonna pause the recording. So just remind me to take it off pause when we come back. So so there's, again, I apologize for everybody that just left the session. I was not recording. So 2 people answered 1.25. 1 person answered 2.5. One person answered 10. I want to make sure we understand how to do it. First is the ratio that's given. We set that up. 0.5 inches is to 2 feet. How you doing, Christy? Equal, and we know 5 feet. So we're going to go feet to feet. And then this is your unknown. Then you're going to cross multiply. We get 2x equal to 2.5. Divide both sides by 2. And we get x equal 1.25. So that's how you solve this problem algebraically. So again, class was over, Christy. If you can hear me, we stopped class at 7, but unfortunately I wasn't recording for the last problem, so I'm redoing that problem over. The common sense way to do it is to say 0.5 inches is 2 feet. Well, 0.5 you should know is a 1/2 inch. So if 1/2 inch is 2 feet, 1 inch is 4 feet. If 1 inch is 4 feet, 2 inches is 8 feet. Well, we want to know 5 feet. 5 feet is in between 4 and 8. So it's between 1 and 2. So the only answers here that are between 1 and 2 is 1.25, because 2.5 is bigger than 8, 2.5 will be more than 5 feet. And anything over 2.5 would also be over 5 feet. So the correct answer is 1.25. Okay, so you'll be able to see this video. The video goes over functions. We went over finding the slope from 2 points, ratio and proportion. So again, that's about 5 to 8 questions on your exam. So the session is over. I was just re-recording so everyone that was in the session could see those examples. So I'll send the YouTube video out to everybody's link. Christy, do I have your email?
No, sir.
Okay, so if you could put your email in the chat, I'll be able to send you this video and you'll be able to see tonight's class. And every Monday we meet at 6 o'clock for about an hour.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm